Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about the comparison of adjectives, really what I'm calling comparison of adjectives part 2. And really what we're talking about today is irregular comparatives. Okay, so there are several adjectives in Latin, and really the most common adjectives which form their comparative and superlative degrees irregularly. So I'm going to give you the positive here, the comparative, and the superlative, and I'm going to take you through the irregular ones. So the first one, bonus, right, probably the most common adjective in Latin, right? Bonus, good. Its comparative is melior. From this word we get the English word ameliorate, right? To make something better is to ameliorate it. And the neuter, of course, is melius. And then the superlative is optimus. So like an optimist always sees the best in things. So when we translate these, bonus is good, melior and melius are better, and optimus is best. Or we could say very good. Okay, so that's the first one. All right, the second one, the opposite of bonus, malus, bad or evil. Its comparative is peior, and the neuter, of course, peius. And the superlative, pessimus. So malus, peior, pessimus. From peior we get pejorative. If something is pejorative, it's bad or it's overly negative. Okay, so so we translate this as bad, malus. Peior is worse, and pessimist is worst, or very bad. And so a pessimist is someone who always sees the worst in all possible things. Okay, those are the first two. So set this up again, positive, comparative, and superlative. Okay, so we had bonus and malus. Now we're going to do magnus, which of course means great or large. Its comparative is major. We get the word major from this. So the neuter would be maius. And then the superlative is maximus. So magnus, major, maximus. Magnus is great. Okay, major, greater, and maximus, greatest. Okay. Next we have parvus. Parvus. Its comparative is minor, and the neuter minus. And superlative minimus. So parvus, minor, minimus. And we translate these, parvus is small, minor, smaller, and minimus, smallest. Okay, the next common adjective that is irregular in its comparative and superlative, multus. Okay, so multus, which means much, then plus, which is really just, I mean, you could call it a comparative. It's really just a neuter noun, but it's substituted as the comparative for multus, and the superlative is plurimus. So multus plus plurimus. Plus, multus plus plurimus. And when we translate this, multus is much, Okay, plus is more. We've seen plus before in partitive genitive forms, and plurimus is most. Okay. This also works in the plural for multus. So you can say multi, and then the comparative of multi actually has real comparative forms. So it has plurace and also the neuter form plura. And then, of course, we would just make plurimus plural, plurimi. Okay, and the translations would be the same, except multi would then be many. Okay, plurace would be more, and plurimi would be most. Okay, so those are the irregular, all the irregular well, there are more of them, but there are some that are kind of obscure. Those are the common irregular ones. But I also want to talk about adjectives that end in IUS. Or, sorry, LIS. Okay, there are 6 adjectives that end in LIS, which form their superlative with the ending limus. Okay, so the ending LIMUS. Okay, and those adjectives are faculous, meaning easy, difficulous, meaning hard or difficult, okay, the opposite. Then we have similus, okay, meaning similar, and its opposite, dissimilus, right, meaning different. Okay, so those are the easy ones to remember. Faculous, difficulous, similus, dissimilus, and there are 2 others that we haven't talked about yet. Graculus. Graculus means thin. And the last one is humilis, which means either low or humble, like low to the ground, or humble as in not a very proud person. Okay, the opposite of superbus, proud. Okay, so all of these adjectives add limus to the base to form the superlative. So for instance, the superlative of faculous would be facilimus, okay, which would be very easy or easiest. The superlative of difficulous would be difficilimus, right? Very hard or most difficult. And all these adjectives do this. So similimus, dissimilimus, graculimus, humilimus, okay? But only these 6 do this. So for instance, if I were to give you the adjective nobilis, right, which is not one of these 6, then its superlative would be nobilissimus. It would be formed regularly, okay, with the ismus superlative ending. So just keep in mind that it's just these 6, right? Faculous, difficulus, similus, dissimilus, okay, and then graculus and humilis, which form their superlative by adding limus to the base. Okay, and thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's it for irregular comparatives, and see you next time.